undo me. Ho, ho.
Hello? Mr. Snowman?
Oh, hello, little girl.
Oh, good. I thought you got away.
No, I don't have any legs, so I'm not very mobile now, am I?
Well, my daddy says you're going away soon.
Your daddy's quite the prophet, isn't he?
Excuse me?
The prophet? Never mind. What can I do for you?
Nothing. I just want to talk.
Oh, well, there you are. What shall we talk about?
The afterlife.
Yes, well, heady subject that. Where should we begin?
I don't know. I just have questions.
Such as?
Such as you, for instance. Where will you go when you die?
Well, I suppose I shall become a pool of water, and eventually a nourishment for the grass and the weeds. My eyes will be cast into the furnace to keep your family warm, and my nose will be a fodder for the horses.
Do you think you'll go to heaven?
I hope so. I wouldn't stand a chance in hell.
And me. Where will I go when I die? Will I become a pool of water also?
No, your death will be a far more complex thing.
Why so?
Well, your nose is not made of carrot, for one.
Will you miss me when I die?
If I should live so long.
I miss my mommy terribly when she died.
Yes, I imagine you would.
Do you think you'll die before me?
I imagine I will. What time of year is it?
It's winter.
Oh, I know that, you silly girl. What month?
It's almost Christmas.
Huh. Well, I should live about another month, depending on the weather.
Why do people die?
Why do people live? Why does snow fall on the ground? Why do dogs pee in my chest every time they walk by me? Life is full of questions, child, most of which will never have an answer.
Do you believe in heaven?
I believe we all have our purpose in the universe, our raisons d'etre, our reasons for being. And when our bodies pass into the ether, we pass on our purposes to others. For instance, you made a snowman last winter, didn't you? What was his name?
Mr. Snowman.
Mr. Yes. You're very inventive, aren't you? Well, when you made Mr. Snowman Sr., you created...
No. He was Mr. Snowman Jr. Mr. Snowman Sr. was the year before. You're Mr. Snowman...
The third. Yes. Thank you. I come from a long line of Mr. Snowmen. Quite the noble lineage. Well, as I was saying, when you created my progenitor, Mr. Snowman II, you created him with a purpose, to bring joy to you and to other children everywhere. And as he was my father and my namesake, I can only assume that he was successful. But then he died, and he melted into the soiled, solid earth below. But from his death came new life and new purpose. His liquid soul assuaged the thirst of many a thankful shrubbery, and eventually his essence was born again. And as you created me from the icy memories of my father, so too was I created with a similar purpose, to bring delight to you and to children everywhere.
And what is my purpose?
To tell me I'm delightful. To be delighted. To take joy in my existence, as well as the existence of all the Mr. Snowmen, great and small. Do I believe in heaven? Well, not for snowmen, perhaps. Heaven has enough delights, without the need of frosty old popsicles like myself. But do I believe that my essence will continue on throughout the ages? For years to come? For centuries to come? Most assuredly I do. For so long as little girls like you continue to create me, and countless Mr. Snowmen after me, my essence will go on. Thus, the circle of life continues.
But what about global warming?
Global what now?
Warming. My daddy says the earth is getting hotter.
He did.
Yes, he said you'll be gone in days, never turn again.
He said that?
He said we'll be lucky if you're alive by New Year's.
By New Year? You can tell your daddy he can kiss my snowballs.
Really?
Yes. No. No. Little girls should not repeat such things.
I shouldn't.
No. By New Year's, huh? Tell him, ask him where he gets his facts.
The Weather Channel.
The Weather Channel? Well, does this Weather Channel say that the weather will continue to warm, or only now because of the impending summer?
It will continue, I think.
Oh. Good Lord. This bodes not well for my descendants.
Are you worried?
Worried? I always thought that I would become a father and perhaps someday a grandfather.
My daddy says he'll be a grandfather too, one day. Then he'll sit back and laugh at me when my children misbehave the way I sometimes do.
Said that, did he?
Yes, and my mama always wanted to be a grandma too, one day. We used to talk about me being a mommy and her taking care of my little ones. I'd bring my dollies to her in bed. Their names were Jan and Misty. She'd lay in bed and hug me and say she wanted to be a grandmother so bad, but she didn't make it. She didn't make it.
Come, child. Don't despair, for you are young and vibrant. And your mommy would have wanted you to play.
She would?
Yes. And besides, you're making me melt.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right, child. It's just hot flashes or something.
Would you like me to bring you some iced tea?
Oh, no. Just some ice would be plenty. Global warming indeed. Perhaps I am designed for hell after all. Oh.
Mr. Snowman,
Yes?
would you like to go in my freezer?
Your freezer? Would I fit?
Well, not in one piece.
Oh, good heavens, child. I'll take my chances here on the ground. Thank you very much.
But you're gonna die, Mr. Snowman. I don't want you to die.
Nor do I, child, but such things are inevitable, I'm afraid.
Maybe Daddy can buy you a giant cooler.
Maybe.
Or maybe I can bring you ice every day.
Perhaps. Yes, perhaps. That would be an idea.
Will there be enough ice in July? Oh no, how can there be enough ice in July?
Will there be enough ice in February if this global warming thing is true?
I don't know. What can I do?
Just be happy. And enjoy the time that you do have with me. Much as you enjoyed the time you had with your mom. Would you like to go inside and get Jan and Misty and you and I can play dollies together?
No, we buried them in Mama's coffin so she wouldn't get lonely in the dark. I feel so helpless.
You shouldn't. You have legs, which is more than me. You have life. You should revel in the mysteries of the universe. Don't focus on the sadness. Rather, focus on the wonder. Let your curiosity be your strength. Your thirst for knowledge guide you through the difficult times. Why, I imagine even this global warming will have some benefits. There'll be plenty of rivers and lakes to play in. No more shoveling the sidewalk. And instead of Mr. Snowman, in the future, you'll build Mr. Mudman. And Mr. Mudman won't melt as easily as I do. Oh no, they will last for years to come if you so desire. So take heart, my precious little girl. For though the future may seem bleak, your essence will go on, as will mine, as will all of the living creatures on this earth.
Did my mama have an essence?
Oh yes.
And has it continued on?
You're here, aren't you?
Mr. Snowman, if you go to heaven before me, will you tell my mama I said hi?
Of course. Well, what does she look like?
She's beautiful.
I imagine everybody in heaven is beautiful.
Do you mind if I go play?
No. No, I don't mind a bit.